Hey everybody, Daddy Maude here. Thanks for joining us. This week I want to share with you some of my coaching experiences. I've been coaching a lot of clients this week and they've come to me with a number of different faults. They may be hooking the ball, slicing the ball, not striking their irons particularly good, or wanting some more power. And throughout the entire week there was a common theme of a lot of the causes of each one of those faults came down to three things, which I'm calling the three killer moves. Killer because they were literally killing their golf swings. And they're pretty simple, and I want to share with you, and hopefully you can benefit this week from it. So the first one is really basic, and it's kind of less of a move, but it really creates a cascade of problems, and it's alignment. And I want to check your understanding of alignment. Now, you might be thinking, alignment? My alignment's absolutely fine. But when did you last check it? So I've had golfers who've been playing golf for years, and do you know what? Because of poor alignment, they have built poor swings. Poor alignment has actually created their poor swing. So let me give you an example. If you aim to the right of target, you're going to have to swing over the top. Now, most people try and fix the over the top by trying to come back inside and do all these kind of things, but actually, do you know what? The cause of it was the fact that they were aiming to the right of target, as an example, and vice versa. You get people aiming left as well, but the most common thing I see is people aiming to the right. So I want to check your understanding, first of all, with just simply alignment. How do you line up to the target? So this is what should happen. In alignment is like two train tracks, all right? Two train tracks. Imagine the struts coming across here. You have an outside rail and you have an inside rail. The only thing that should be lining up to your target is the target line here, which is what your ball's on. This line here, roughly where we're standing, if I look at this, if I'm standing here, this line here, which is my foot line, is parallel left of target, right? So the feet, the knees, the hips, the shoulders are all parallel left. So they're not actually aiming at the target in any shape or form. They're actually aiming left of it. The only thing that's actually aiming at the target is the club face. I cannot tell you how many golfers I see lining their feet, their knees, their body, and they're trying to get their body lined up to their target. That is not alignment in golf, okay? We want to stand parallel to the target line. We don't want to create this. We don't want to have both the body and the club lining up to the target. We want to create two parallel lines. So the very first thing I want you to go away and check now is go and check your alignment. Start to line up correctly, and you may find that when you check it, you're aiming too far right or too far left, but go and check it out, and then we'll move on to killer move number two. Killer move number two, this was a real common one throughout the entire week. So a lot of golfers, obviously, then sometimes people say to me, I'm not too worried about getting extra distance, Danny, but I just want to be more accurate. And if you want to be more accurate, we want to deliver the club face square to the golf ball more often. Problem is, this is what I was finding with so many of the clients, what they were doing is when they were swinging back, they were rolling the face of the golf club a lot, right? So look at the face. Face is kind of wide open here. And if you roll it on the way back, you then give it a reason to roll on the way through, right? So you're making the face really open and close way too much. It's so unstable, it's very hard then to square the club face up at impact on a regular basis. So what we did was just give them a really simple first bit of the movement, first bit of takeaway to straighten their shots up. Be really simple. And all I did was this. When you set up to the golf ball, what I want you to do is just get the face in the first move here. Keep it looking at the golf ball for longer. So if you look at this here, the face is angled. It's looking at the golf ball for longer as opposed to rolling, right? So we want the club face looking at that golf ball for longer compared to rolling. If it looks at the golf ball for longer, we can keep the club back. It's much squarer on the way back, and as I'm coming through, I'm not having to roll my wrists at all. I can deliver that club back into the golf ball. Wonderful. So different strike altogether, much straighter ball flight, straight back into the ball there, and through. Really easy one to work on, and again, it sounds simple, but you know what, just a couple of minutes exercise was making a big difference to the quality of the strike and the accuracy of each shot. Get that club face working back, facing the golf ball as opposed to rolling, and you'll have more consistent and straighter shots. Let's have a look at killer move number 3. Killer move number 3, hip slide. Oh, I saw so many golfers doing that this week, and it just kills the golf swing. It kills power, and again, what it does is it stops rotation. So if you move your hips side to side, right, then your body can't rotate. Watch this. If my hips are moving side to side, then the body tends to move side to side. If the body's moving side to side, it can't really rotate very well. So the only thing that you've got left, if the body's moving side to side, is just hand and eye coordination. And as we know, if you have to rely on your hands to hit a golf ball too much, 2 things. 1, the club's waving around all over the place, it's going to be inconsistent. If you're a senior golfer who struggles with a little bit of, you're losing a bit of muscle and a bit of strength, then all you have is hand and arm power. You can't really generate enough power. So we need some form of rotation. So we've got to get the legs, as opposed to moving side to side, we've got to get them rotating much better here. Now there's a couple of exercises that you can do. The first one involves a club. So the first thing we can do to improve the quality of your rotation is simply to put a club. So you're going to stand on the outside, get your foot on the outside of your right foot on the golf club here. So it puts the weight on the instep of your right foot. And then all we're going to do now is we're going to make a turn, and you'll see here, look at my left hip here. It's not sliding, the weight's on my instep here, and I'm rotating. If you find that this is a little bit tight at all and it's uncomfortable, then what you want to do is just raise your left heel a little bit off the ground as you're doing it. It'll just help you, particularly if you struggle with some back, it'll just help you create a little bit more rotation, but you're still keeping your weight on the inside of your right foot. As soon as the weight moves to the outside, which this club's stopping, you create the sway, right? So really simple but great exercise to create that motion. Once you've done it a few times, you're going to hit golf balls with it, but then what I would do is kind of get the feel like the instep there, the weight's on the instep as you're rotating back, and then hit a couple of shots. Okay, and you'll see there, my hip here doesn't really move too much. It's turning really nicely and allows my body to rotate much better. I can get more rotation through the impact area, and therefore the club is more stable. I'm having to rely less on hands. Another old-fashioned drill which really improves this, which is again a great way for you to get the feeling, is feet together. Putting the feet together here, right, really kind of gives you the feeling of swaying and stopping it. So watch this. When the feet are together, we can now rotate around. Now if you sway, you'll feel this kind of body moving all over the place. We want to keep that body as best as we can in line. If we rotate nicely like this, we create an arc around the body, and then we hit some nice gentle shots with an arc beautifully around the body, and it again helps you get rotation around here, back through, increases power and definitely increases the accuracy, because you're not having to rely too much on your hands and your arms. Okay, let's summarize. So what have we done today? So we came up with three killer moves. First killer move was alignment. Go and check, make sure that you're aligning up correctly. Remember, there are 2 lines you need to focus on. We need a target line and a body line. They never aim at the same thing. The target line, which is what your ball's on, aims towards your target. Your body line is parallel left to that target. Make sure when you check your alignment, that is exactly what you're doing. You're not lining one bit of your body up to that target. That's the first thing. You will be surprised at how many people out there will be getting this bit wrong. Please do that. It will save you so much effort trying to solve problems in your golf swing later, right? Number 2, second killer move. Make sure the face doesn't wave around too much. So many of my clients were, when they're swinging back, they were opening up the face, right? If you open up the face, you give it a reason to wave and close down on the way through, right? and it also is hugely unstable. What we want to be able to do is keep the face much squarer. So what do we focus on? Keep the face looking at the golf ball, staring at the golf ball for longer. Look at that there, it's staring at the golf ball now. Here, it's not rolled, right? Stare at the golf ball here, you'll start to see straighter shots, and it will give you also a better strike. That one, it's really, really good. Third and final killer move, swaying. This one is again a major one. I see it a lot of people, particularly if you've got a struggle with flexibility, because it's sometimes easier to slide your hips if you struggle with flexibility to get up to the top of the backswing. So we said, look, make sure we create more of a rotational motion with the hips. Now there's a couple of ways we said you can do this. One is just put a golf club under on the outside of your right foot. So you look at that there, it's pushing my weight on the instep of my right foot now. I'm getting the sensation now of making a swing without the weight moving here. In fact, the club will stop that, right? So you're rotating here, hit some shots with that under your foot. It'll make a big, big difference, and you kind of generate the feeling. If you feel it's a little bit tight because you lack a little bit of flexibility, not a problem. Keep that under your right foot, but what you want to do is then just raise your heel off the ground a little bit. And it's great for senior golfers. So if you get the heel off the ground a little bit, you can still create a lovely amount of rotation, but you're keeping the weight on the instep of that right foot. And a second drill is a bit of a bonus really, is the feet together drill. This is a wonderful way for you to be able to feel the motion. Now, if this feels a bit uncomfortable and you struggle with this, that's because you've been swaying quite a lot and you've got to get that sensation of the body working around here. Look at my belt buckle, it's working here, it's not working side to side, all right? So they are the 3 killer moves that were so prominent with many of my clients this week. I hope it really benefits you and you get some practicing. If you've got any questions at all, don't forget to leave them in the comments box below, or head over onto my Instagram channel where we're going to put loads more content over the coming weeks. And if you're enjoying the content and you want to receive it in your inbox every week, don't forget to press the subscribe button and the bell. And of course, look, help your friends out. Make sure you share this content. And until next week, have a great golfing week.